Do a pedal. Sup? Already know. It's always a good time when I have popcorn. Though. So I got two more. Two more left. Right? I'm about to pick. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. My Adidas told me though to pick this one right here, mo. Bacon cheddar, that sounds disgusting. Damn. I mean, they have other flavors. Where I got these from, they got like ranch and jalapeno. I'm not doing jalapeno. I may do ranch, but like certain things, you know, they're good by themselves. But when you put them together, it's like it's not. It doesn't. It's not. It don't go good. It don't go good. I mean, it's like it's nasty. It's nasty. So this is bacon cheddar. I can see. It smells like dog food. I gotta be honest with you. So, I gotta do the taste test before the taste test. All right. Right there. I keep forgetting how salty this shit is. Right now, this is my my least favorite. Gotta be honest with you. But it may taste, because this is movie theater popcorn. It may taste a little better or different with it. God, this is nasty. I'm gonna do my taste test. I'm not, oh, God. I'm not messing with it no more. I'm gonna just eat it like this, and I'm not putting no more on here. That's disgusting. Oh my God.
Watch until the end for the life or death question. Facebook can make anyone invisible or someone else entirely. Facebook is the largest social media website. It allows people to connect, to talk to one another, and meet new people. But in the same way it makes communication easier, it also allows very bad people to be invisible.
Yeah.
They can wear the mask of someone else, anyone else they choose. They can be what you want them to be, and you'd never know who they really are. That is, until it's too late. Facebook can be a great thing, but one stupid mistake could mean your life. You've been warned. Please note, some of these stories are from the view of women.
Okay. Hope everybody.
Number
okay.
1.
All right.
Facebook Freak. Submitted by Joan L.
This is so nasty.
This all happened last year in 2015 when I was 16. You gotta know I was and still am pretty boy crazy. It seems like if I don't have someone, I can't stop feeling lonely. It's a problem I have, I know, but it explains how vulnerable I was when this happened to me.
You say you feel lonely. If you had your Adidas, you can never feel like that. Your Adidas are with you. You know, it's like, you know, they stick with you. You ride or die. You know, the shoes on your feet, they get you through thick times. They get you through troubled times. They get you through clucked up situations. They're there for you. So if you have Adidas, you're never alone. Trust me on this one.
I was in 11th grade. I had never had a serious relationship with a guy. Nothing beyond a week-long series of awkward hand-holding before we'd inevitably break up. I guess I was just too shy to express myself when I was actually in a relationship. It was just so hard to open up around guys, or people in general. I've been like that since I can remember. My parents tried their best to make me open up to folks, sending me to sleepovers, church events, making me join clubs in school.
Yeah, hold on, Mom, Dad, hold on. Can you please pause? Put a pause on. I don't know these motherfuckers. I don't know them like that. You may know them. You may know them, but I don't know these motherfuckers like that. I don't. Just because I go to school with them don't necessarily mean I know them. Just because I work with them don't necessarily mean I know them. Just because we praise the Lord together don't mean I know them. So relax, okay? Jeez. Come on. Stop forcing this on me. Maybe I'm like this for a reason. You think about that? Huh? Oh, okay. Okay. This is so disgusting. Oh my God.
It didn't work. Anyway, while I couldn't really open up in person, I was so easy to open up digitally. I mean, think about it. Messaging someone over the phone or online makes you unseeable. They're not seeing you. They're not expecting a physical response. You're simply chatting, sending replies to one another with plenty of time to plan and respond in between. The situation was almost entirely pressureless. So, when a boy my age sent me a friend request on Facebook, I didn't hesitate to accept it.
Wow.
And being eager and curious, I looked over his profile. Skylar. He was cute, tall, with a defined jawline. I was instantly intrigued. Then, maybe 5 minutes after accepting his friend request, he messaged me. My heart raced. He said he was bored and not ready to go to bed. Asked me what I was up to. I responded that I was just trying to get tired while browsing through Facebook posts. So that's how we started chatting. We stayed up until 4 in the morning, talking about what classes we had at whichever school we went to.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he didn't go to the same high school as me.
But now he knows.
Well, I thought there's plenty of time in the summer to meet up if we wanted to.
Oh my God.
It turned out he played football, loved math, and wanted to go to college to be an astronomer. He sounded absolutely amazing and well put together. Before we went to bed, I asked him for his number after sending my own out of the blue.
Wow, that's God damn. You seem pretty open right now. Pause on that. Oh my God. But why you moving so goddamn fast? Like, slow the hell down. You don't know this kid. Like, relax, yo. Like, you don't think it's you don't think it's kind of suspicious? Y'all just became friends, and within seconds or a couple of minutes, he's messaging you, and now you're about to exchange numbers. Like, you don't think that's any? Not, and I bet you know he knows where you go to school. You might as well just be talking in person. Like, you talking and being aggressive and so like and so fast paced moving. You might as well just be talking in person. Like,
That's when things got weird.
yeah.
Why the fuck do you need my number?
No.
His message appeared only seconds after I'd asked for it. I felt my eyebrow raise and my heart sink. What had I done to make him so angry all of a sudden?
Oh, bless you.
Before I even knew what to type back, he messaged me again. What the fuck is your problem? Do you not trust me?
He crazy.
What the hell did a phone number have to do with trust? I wasn't able to respond before he logged off. Needless to say, after hours of enjoying myself with an online stranger, then being hatefully rebuked, I was sad, irritated, and confused. I shut off my laptop and went to bed. The next morning, I checked my Facebook, first thing as I always did. Sure enough, there was another message from Skylar. Sorry about last night, I was just tired.
He crazy.
Still upset, I decided not to reply. After all, I barely knew him.
He got
He had
that.
turned into someone else entirely at the drop of a hat.
He got that split
That could
hurt.
mean nothing but bad news. I went to school, laid low mostly. At lunch, I told my friend Stacy about what had happened. She thought it was both creepy and hilarious. I found myself looking at my phone throughout the day, expecting more weird or angry texts from him. None came. It wasn't until the Sunday after next that I heard from Skylar again. It was a storm that came all at once. Dozens of messages on Facebook, comments on any posts and comments of my own, writing on my timeline. I'm sorry for freaking out. Forgive me?
No, hell no.
You're so cute.
Hell no.
I love you. Why the fuck won't you talk to me? If I thought I was creeped out the first night, this had immediately quadrupled the feeling. My first thought was to block the guy, but I was so hesitant. God, why was I hesitant to just forget the guy?
Hesitate my ass. Hesitate my ass. I'm not. Like, I am not the one to be playing any games, be playing any creepy games, or anything like that. Like I like you. If you act a certain way, I will not be hesitant to block you, ASAP. I did it before, so yeah. You come at me, you start messaging me with some weird, creepy shit. Hey, don't be surprised if I block you in a heartbeat. I'm not scared to do it. Like I said, I did it before.
Part of me was scared he'd go crazy if he found out that he'd been blocked. And another foolish, desperate part of me liked the attention,
Wow.
no matter how crazy that is. I just wasn't used to anyone paying attention to me like that. It was confusing and relentless. One second he'd say something about missing me or loving me. The next he'd be cussing me out.
He
And over
crazy.
time it seemed the angry texts became more and more frequent.
Bipolar.
After a full day of this, I was done. It was time to defend myself, to be the bad guy. In a quiet fit of adrenaline, I logged into Facebook, pulled up his profile, and blocked him.
Oh.
Good riddance. That weekend, still a little shaken by the whole thing, Stacy and I decided to go see a movie. She had been excited to see The Hateful Eight. I was so-so about it, but she was a die-hard Tarantino fan.
Why'd she be there?
We arrived at the theater at 7 that night. The place was insanely crowded.
Why'd she be
But I
there?
guess that's to be expected on a Saturday.
He gonna be there. Watch.
When we actually found our room, though, the theater was empty. We were the first and apparently the last. No one else had shown up by the time the movie started. Eventually, the lights lowered. The movie began. Stacy was annoyed with me for continuously looking at my phone. I kept checking my Facebook feed, my notifications. I honestly had no idea that the movie was going to be 3 hours long, and I got bored at one point.
Damn.
When it was over, she insisted we sit through the credits for any extra scenes.
Right.
That's when I saw someone walking out of the
I
theater.
bet you that's him.
After looking at my phone and the giant screen for hours, all I could really make out was his silhouette. I was a bit surprised. I hadn't seen a single person walk into the theater. Then again, I hadn't really been paying attention. Later that night, checking my Facebook before bed, I had a message. My heart beat nervously. I expected the worst. I opened it.
I,
That was a long movie, but your hair smelled nice.
what the hell?
I started crying. I picked myself up out of bed and ran to my mother and father's room. I told them about everything that had happened.
What?
They were furious. I showed them the messages. My mother called the police, and my father sent him a message from his own account, telling him to fuck off and that the police had been notified. The police couldn't find a name matching the description, and the guy deleted his account soon thereafter.
If I was her dad, and I found out what he was doing, what he was saying to my baby girl, oh, you best believe I would have tried. I would have got where he went to school. If he had a job, got that. I would have got his home address, his IP address. I would have got something so I can pop up on him in person talking about something like, yo, what's good? Yo, what's up, B? Like, what's up? Yo, you say you like to smell like my daughter's hair. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, yo, like, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh man, but that is not me, cause I'm a bitch at the heart. Haul ass. I would have said, baby girl, you better run. Hey, I tell it like it is.
I saved as much information as I could, but the police didn't seem to care too much for a teenage stalking case.
I don't care about that.
We were never able to find him. What scares me the most, though, is how he was able to find me. I never told him where I lived, and I don't have it on my Facebook. How could he have found me so easily? Number 2. Facebook Killer. Submitted by Davis Jives.
That's a weird ass name.
I feel like I'm part of some sort of underground internet legend. Well, maybe not a legend in the same sense. It's not something the whole interwebs knows about. But God, was this experience terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets random-ass Facebook friend requests. You know, names and faces you just don't recognize, but you accept them anyway just to increase how many fake friends you have on Facebook.
Wow.
Gotta get the high score, I suppose.
Never did that.
This is exactly what happened when I accepted a friend request from the weirdest account I had ever heard of. Its name was simply Cellar Door. The moment I read that name, I accepted it and had to take a look.
Why?
I opened the account in a new tab. The profile pic was all black, and the banner looked like some sort of trail cam picture of a bunch of dead trees and leaves at night.
Red flags.
Odd. Then I saw that he had only 2 other friends besides me. That was strange as well. Why did this person decide to send me a friend request? Did they know me?
Nah.
Maybe it was a prank or a lame joke.
Nah.
I shook my head and decided to browse my feed a little more before heading off to bed. It was already 1 in the morning, and I had to get to work by 8. Throughout my work week, I checked this Cellar Doors profile several times. Still 3 friends. Still the same meaningless pictures. No new posts. It was extremely strange. I took a look into his friends. Of course, there were a couple of guys I didn't know. They looked to be my age. I failed to see any connection we 3 might have to this odd profile. The following Sunday, I got a notification. I had been tagged in a picture. The picture was posted by Cellar Door.
It's not a...
Right away, I was curious. This mysterious, weird profile had actually posted something. I'd be stupid not to check it out. I clicked the notification on my iPhone, and a picture filled my screen. It was another fucking trail cam picture. Or maybe not a trail cam. There seemed to be some motion blur, like someone was holding the camera with flash.
I thought it was gonna be you.
Again, the scene was in the middle of the woods in the dark. The trees weren't the same, but it looked like the same woods as before. Dead trees and dead leaves all over. My first thought was, well, what the hell? What is this guy? A night hiker, nature lover, avid camper? I'll be damned if my curiosity wasn't piqued more and more. That's bound to happen to a guy who enjoys browsing Reddit for ghost stories all hours of the night.
Oh!
Again, that next week, I kept checking my Facebook for notifications. Nothing. I checked that account more and more frequently, but nothing changed.
Get off of that account.
Well, one of the other guys that is friends with that profile liked the photo it had published, but that was about it. Nothing weird happened again until the next Sunday. Another notification from Facebook. I unlocked my phone and checked it out. Sure enough, it was from Cellar Door. He had put up a new photo. This was when my curiousness turned to disappointment. Apparently the guy was just going to spam post some random-ass, terribly shot nighttime nature pic every Sunday. I like nature pics, but I was expecting something more from all of this. That week, things went back to normal. No checking Cellar Door for mysterious updates, just me, working, going home, going to bed, then rinse and repeat. But another Sunday came, and so did a new notification. It was another picture from Cellar Door. I rolled my eyes and opened.
I feel like it's gonna be a picture of you. Like you getting tagged in all these pictures, and then it's gonna be he gonna tag you in a picture, and it's gonna be you, or like your house, or like something personal. I feel like that's gonna be the case. Like I feel like you're doing too much. Like Get off of his account. Like, get off. Get off.
My eyes widened, and my mouth hung open.
Oh, yeah?
It was another picture in the woods, but the camera was angled down to show the dead leaves and branches on the forest floor. But that wasn't all. That wasn't what terrified and bewildered me.
You saw
In
hands.
the middle of the leaves, bloodied and cut to hell,
Ew.
were 2 human legs cut off at the knees.
Oh.
I didn't know what I was looking at.
That's it.
Was
Blocked.
it even real?
You're blocked.
Because it looked very realistic.
You're blocked.
Or was it just a really good prop or effect?
You're blocked.
If so, then why?
You're blocked.
Who would just post this gory crap for no reason?
You're...
I unfriended Cellar Door, debating with myself whether or not to report them or call the cops.
Hell
I
yes.
decided against it. I just left it alone. It wasn't my business, right? Since then, I've gone back to check that profile. Freaking Cellar Door, it's gone now. I guess the person deleted it.
Oh.
But it doesn't exist anymore. I should have downloaded those pictures or taken a screenshot. The moral of this story, though, would be don't just accept friend requests willy-nilly. There are real freaks out there.
I feel like that's common sense, though. You should only...
Number 3. Facebook Meetup, submitted by 4SSuck.
I feel like you should only...
Several years ago, during my 9th grade year, I was a Facebook addict, or a different kind of addict. I was one of those guys that was messaging at least 3 different girls at the same time.
Okay.
I was a horny teenager.
Right.
Though I regret behaving like a dickhead back then, I realized I really couldn't help myself. I followed my hormones instead of my head.
Yeah.
All it took was a friend request from a girl with a cute profile picture, and I'd message them. So when a Kendra Jameson messaged me, and she was beyond hot, I hit her up with a message ASAP. I sent her something like, "Not ready to go to sleep yet, you up?" I waited a few seconds. Luckily, I got a reply. They've taken the bait, I thought. Me neither. What are you up to, cutie?
Oh.
2 messages in, and she has initiated the flirting. This was going well. I stayed up, messaging her back and forth, flirting hardcore and being just short of sexting. She was Kendra Jameson, a 10th grade cheerleader, a blonde.
A blonde? She a blonde? Oh shit! Hey. Wait, but I'm kind of on the fence about this, cause if you just became friends with somebody online, and regardless if they're male or female, if they're pretty, gorgeous, beautiful, whatever, sexy, the chances of them responding to you the same day or a couple minutes after y'all just became friends online is pretty slim. I gotta be honest with you, like, that's pretty slim. And in my eyes, that's kind of a red flag. Like, why you saying something a couple of seconds after we just became friends online? Like, that's a little sus. So I'm gonna need you to back up a couple of feet, please, because you looking real like not real. You feel me? So I'm gonna need you to lay off, back up a little bit. Okay, please? Cause like I said, I'm not the one that's hesitant about blocking people. Cause right now, I'm sorry. I use some of y'all may know, some of y'all don't. I use my phone to record, and I just got a message notification. That's why I turn my head like that. But yeah, man. When you online, you have your guard up. You be cautious, especially online, cause you don't know these motherfuckers online. You don't. And I'm scratching my thigh. Relax. I'm not scratching what you think I'm scratching. You nasty. You disgusting. You nasty and you disgusting. What's nasty and disgusting? Like, if you put those 2 words together, what is that? You're disgusting, nasty, nasty. You're nagust. You're nagisty. You're nagisty. I don't know. That makes no sense.
Bombshell at 5'6" and a secret Call of Duty nerd. At this point, I must have been drooling. She sounded absolutely perfect. I didn't even realize I hadn't replied to the few messages the other girls had sent me. That night, we exchanged phone numbers. So the next day at school, all I could do was text this girl. The feeling with her was so much different than usual. She was so easy to fall for.
Is it a she?
She listened well. She seemed so into me. And something told me she was trustworthy. I didn't get much work done that week. On the weekend, Kendra kept asking me when we could meet up. I, for one, was at the ready. I would have jumped at the opportunity to go see her. But I didn't have a ride. I was 15 and I didn't have a permit.
15?
That same night, I decided to call her. I wanted to hear her voice. I called her 3 times, but no answer.
It's a man.
She texted me. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm at church.
Wow, church.
Alright, that sounded fine to me. I could just try calling later.
For real? Church. That's your excuse. I can't text right now. I can't call right now. I'm at church. Really? You're gonna put God in this. Oh, okay. That's messed up. That you put God in your clucked up situation. And I'm spitting everywhere and I have to fart. Sorry. I don't know if y'all heard that. My bio movements are just crazy right now. Sorry for anybody that heard me fart. I'm sorry.
The next week, I tried calling her dozens of times, but never once did she pick up.
It's a man.
Sometimes she had an excuse. I'm with friends, not supposed to be on the phone, or really busy at the moment. I was starting to get fed up. That was until she had an idea for us to meet up. She already knew where I lived. I gave her that information right off the bat when we were trying to figure out how to see one another. That's how she knew about the lake, 2 miles down the road from my house. It was a lake right next to a reservoir where people love to boat and fish. She asked if I wanted to sneak out next Saturday and meet up on the pier. My heart raced. I was excited. Finally, I was going to see her. No more sending pics over the phone.
Or him.
We'd meet on the pier at 11 o'clock Saturday night. During the week, I couldn't contain my excitement. I ended up telling my friend Joseph about her. I showed him pictures and everything. You need a ride? He asked. Really? You'd give me a ride at like 11 at night on a Saturday?
15.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be out anyway. Dad's letting me drive the car.
You're 15.
I got lucky. Now I didn't have to walk all the way there. Plus, I didn't have to go alone. No matter who you are, walking 2 miles alone in the dark would always be creepy. After the longest week, Saturday came. My parents went to bed early, and I waited impatiently in my room for 10:45 to come. Soon I heard Joseph pull up in the driveway. We were off. I gotta be honest, I was nervous as hell. Meeting this girl for the first time, I was afraid I'd make a terrible first impression. Looking back on it now, I was going out in the middle of the night to meet someone in the dark. I don't think it was first impressions I should have been worried about. When we got there, it was about 11:02. Seeing that I was 2 minutes late, I kind of freaked out. Anyway, I got out of the car at the gate. The gate is about 50 yards up the small paved road leading to the lake entrance. The lake closes at 8 p.m.
So, you couldn't talk to her through texting or Facebook talking. You couldn't say anything like why do we have to meet at night? Why do we have to, be secluded or isolated from everyone else? Like, why can we meet, like, in a mall or somewhere where it's like a lot of people, or during the day? Like, why can't we just meet at a mall during the day, bright as hell outside, mad people around? Like, why we gotta meet up at night? Huh? Oh, no response? Well, okay, then I guess we're not meeting. Sorry. I just can't. But I get it, because you 15. I kind of get it. I mean, your hormones fucking skyrocketing right now, but you're following your dick, and I understand because I listen to my dick sometimes. Other times, Lil G can get me in trouble. So that's why I say sometimes.
I'd have to go on foot from here. Joseph said he'd be back at 11:30. I'm sure he had something just as scandalous to get to.
Oh, you leaving me? Don't leave me.
Going down that trail in the dark kept me petrified. I've seen the horror movies. When people are walking in the dark in the movies, it's never really dark. Imagine the night of a new moon with trees blotting out most of the stars in the sky. I'm lucky I could see that path at all. Well, it didn't take long for me to hear the footsteps. The other set of footsteps besides my own. As deathly quiet as the night was, these footsteps were blatant echoes coming from up ahead on the road. My heart pounded with anxiety and excitement. It must have been Kendra. The steps got closer and closer and closer. Closer until I realized how heavy they were. Only a few seconds later, I could make out a silhouette ahead of me. It rounded the corner and began to head towards me. I saw long hair, but their frame was taller and thinner than my own. And though the hair was long, there was no way it was a girl.
Door.
It looked messy and matted. Suddenly, my fears were confirmed. The breathing gave everything away. The slow, disoriented breathing, as if the person was trying not to breathe at all. It was gruff and deep. Without another thought, I turned tail and ran. Behind me, my worst nightmare came to life as those footsteps began to quicken. I was being pursued. The gravelly, harsh breathing got louder and more rough. I couldn't have been a minute away from the gate, but if Joseph was gone, I'd be supremely fucked. Even so, that minute seemed to last an eternity. An eternity being pursued by a tall, strange man who for some reason wanted to chase me. And that was never a good sign. The moment I noticed the headlights bouncing off the trees ahead of me, I knew Joseph was still there. I knew I could make it.
You sure that's him?
Unless he caught up to me. I ran harder, ignoring the burn in my legs and the ache in my heart.
Is that him?
I turned on the road, blinded by the onset of the headlights. But I didn't slow down. I jumped the gate and literally slammed into the passenger door, flailing my hands about until I had a hold of the door handle. It was locked. "Fucking let me in!" I screamed.
It's not him.
I heard the subtle click of the unlock, then yanked the door open. "What the hell, man?" Joseph's voice was loud in my ears. I sat down, shut the door, and made sure everything in the damn car was locked. "Just go!" I yelled.
Okay.
I couldn't stop staring at the bend ahead just beyond the gate, waiting for that fucker to come at us. Without another question, Joseph hit it into reverse and got us out of there. I stared at the gate until it disappeared in the rear view, but I never saw that man. "What happened?" Joseph asked. "Some guy chased me." I realized at that point I was sweating. "Thank God you were here, man." "The hell? Well, yeah, I figured I'd better not ditch you in the middle of the night." I think we were both quite shaken for the rest of that night.
That's a good friend.
What was I supposed to think at that point? Who the hell was that guy? Was Kendra okay?
Oh.
Was I set up? I decided I'd message her the moment I got home. I didn't really feel like texting on the ride back. The moment I was home, I double-checked that everything was locked up. I took a hot shower, then crawled into bed. Finally, I got my phone on the charger and turned it on. A notification popped up on my opening lock screen. It was a message from Kendra. "Why the hell did you run? I told you to come alone. Who was with you? You know, I could kill you if I wanted to.
Oh my God.
I know where you live."
Time for us
It
to
all
move.
sank in at that point. I had never been chatting with a beautiful young girl. Whoever this was had tricked me, had baited me in, to do God knows what to me. I could have died. If Joseph hadn't been there, I'd be dead. If I walked there alone, like I originally planned, I'd be dead. If I hadn't run fast enough, I'd be dead.
I'll be dead. I'll be dead. I'll be dead.
And all the feelings I had felt toward her, towards some psychotic freak. Oh, God, I wanted to throw up. I blocked and reported the account and never told anyone about this until now. It's more humiliating than anything. Be aware of who you talk to, and never meet up with someone you don't know. People are liars, and sometimes they're killers.
He knows where you live. It's time to move. What you doing? Tripping.
Number 4. Uncle on Facebook. Submitted by Elliot.
Elliot, really?
You think you can trust family, but at the end of the day, they're all you have in the world. Screw that. They can be just as bad, if not worse, than the strangers you pass on the street every day.
Oh,
Hell,
what?
I've had my dad steal money from me.
Oh.
Sure, I was just a kid, but I had spent all summer saving. And when I confronted him, I was the bad guy. Well, that experience only pales in comparison to what happened when we took in my Uncle Brandon. Brandon was always fun to hang with. He was that uncle that always made jokes, smiled, and cut up with everyone. He always made me laugh, and even stopped by when he had the money to ask what I wanted for my birthday. He was such a great guy, but that doesn't mean he wasn't sketchy. In the past, he had been addicted to pills. He once showed up to work at his job at a canning factory and almost lost an arm because he was tripping so hard.
Wow.
He ended up getting fired, of course. I loved him, and I felt bad for him.
Loved?
Sadly, things only got worse for Brandon. And this brings me to the start of my experience. Uncle Brandon's domestic partner, they had never really wanted to get married, threw him out of the house. He thought it was just a rough patch, but when he tried to mend things, she had already moved out of state. She was gone for good. He had a shittily paying job and nothing in savings, so when he came to his brother, my dad, to ask for a place to stay for a couple of weeks, there was no hesitation. We all welcomed him into our home.
Oh my ass. I would have been right there at the door just looking at him like, so why did you get kicked out? Huh? What did you do? And be honest with me. 'Cause we let you in this house. You do some weird shit. Some creepy shit. Oh man. You leaving the same day you came in. So, why did you get kicked out? I needs to know.
Worried about him, my parents tried to ask what had happened between him and his girlfriend of 20 years. His responses were shallow and kind of changed each time we asked. I guess she just wasn't happy anymore.
Bull.
She wanted to move out of state, and I didn't want to leave my home.
Bull.
She wanted kids, I didn't.
Bull.
So it was only natural we were a bit suspicious. But even if he was staying in our home, was it really any of our business prying into his personal life? Our
Yes.
questions must have only made him more sad about the whole thing, so we stopped asking. Every day around 5 in the afternoon, though, Brandon would come home and go straight to the guest room. He wouldn't shut the door, so whenever I'd walk by, I'd just quickly glance in. Creepy, right? He'd always be in a chair in the corner on his laptop. There'd be this dumb grin on his face that made me laugh. It was good to see him smile. Yet I was definitely curious as to why he was so happy, who he might be chatting with. Well, eventually I got an answer, and it was far from what I was expecting. There came a day when Brandon left his laptop open as he went to the bathroom. Being the nosy 14-year-old I was, I couldn't stop myself. I went to sneak a peek into his profile. I picked up the laptop and turned it toward me. His Facebook page was up, as well as a conversation at the bottom right. He was talking to a girl named Elizabeth.
Okay.
It was a girl from my school.
Oh.
My stomach turned. Why the hell would he be talking to a girl my age?
How old are you?
It took me far too long to notice his own profile image.
How old are you?
It wasn't a picture of my uncle.
Say-
It looked like some older teenager.
Say
A
your-
model, in fact, as if he had Googled it.
Say your
My
age.
heart started to race, and
How
I
old-
felt knots being tied in my stomach.
How old are
I
you?
had to look into the conversation. I scrolled through, and I could feel my face contort. They were flirting with each other. Even a few sexual passes here and there were sent from my uncle. Elizabeth seemed unsure here and there, but he was persistent. I scrolled down to the most recent message after having started around the middle of the conversation. The most recent message was from Elizabeth. She said, "Yes, I'll see you then."
Oh.
It was a reply to the question Brandon had sent just before.
Oh no.
It was, "I'm free this weekend if you want to finally meet up. Tell your parents you're going to a movie and I can pick you up.
Oh no.
8 o'clock Saturday, sound good?" At that moment, I heard the toilet from the bathroom just in the hallway flush. I realized I had sat down in the chair. I jumped up, put the laptop down, and ran out. I ran into my room, shut the door, and just sat down. I sat there for a while. I had no idea what to do, what was really going on. A side of me just wanted to ignore the whole thing like it wasn't happening. But that wasn't right. A few days went by and the weekend drew ever closer. With each day I got more nervous. I wanted to throw up. This was going to eat me alive if I didn't tell someone. And if I held it in, my uncle could do something he would regret forever. And I'd regret it forever too. When my parents got home one evening, I believe it was on a Thursday, I told them what I saw. My mother was taken aback, but my father kept shaking his head. He even got angry and told me not to tell lies about my own family. So I grabbed Brandon's laptop. He was working overtime that night. Of course, we didn't know his password. We guessed a few things, none of which worked. We ended up looking up a way to bypass the password using safe mode on one of our phones, something he'd notice immediately the moment he got back. So, we were already in too deep to return. And luckily, his Facebook login info was saved to his browser. One click and we were in. His profile showed his full name, but someone else's picture just as before. I pulled up his messages and showed my parents. It didn't take too long for my dad to turn away. I saw him walk into the kitchen and throw something that sounded like glass. My mother seemed to have trouble breathing. After what seemed like a half hour of straight silence, she told me to just hang out in my room for the rest of the night. Without a word, I nodded and obeyed. I thought I'd feel better after confessing everything, but I felt a million times worse. I wanted to die. That night was one filled with screaming and slammed doors. I didn't sleep. My family hasn't been the same since. My father ended up kicking out my uncle, and since then they haven't talked. My mother called Elizabeth's parents to let them know what their daughter was doing, but she did not name my uncle. I kept expecting cops to show up at our door demanding information about Brandon.
Hey, that's first of all, that's disgusting. Because it sounds like you're in high school or middle school. I don't know if he ever said your age or, if you was in high school or not. But I would have been like, he came home and I seen those messages. As soon as the door opened, my uncle came in, I would have said, "Hey! You a pedophile." Turn, G. Yeah, G. Yeah, no. Turn around. Turn your ass around. Turn your pedophile ass around. And get up out of here. Please. I'm only gonna say it once. Get your disgusting ass out of here, please. Thank you. Honey! Sanitize. Everything in this house. Everything. Then Lysol. Everything. I am so dramatic.
They never did. And I will never look at people the same way. Of all the people in the world, it was one of the people I loved most, that I trusted most. My own uncle was a few days away from raping a young girl.
God damn.
Number 5. Encounter from Facebook. Submitted by Joey Safine.
What? Joey! Hey.
This is easily the most terrifying moment of my life. I was an idiot for letting it get as far as it did, and believe me, my parents have not let me live it down just yet. If anything, take this as a warning. I talked to a guy on Facebook. It was an older man by the name of Eugene. Eugene did not even bother to change his profile picture or any information at all. Yet in spite of my age, 15 at the time, he would consistently send me very disturbing messages. They didn't start out completely creepy though. It was during that more innocent phase that I made a mistake. It started out with him asking how I was. Of course, I asked him who he was. You don't just spark a conversation up with a stranger, especially at my age. That's a little odd. He said he knew my father, that they were old friends.
Bull.
He introduced himself and said he had known Ned for years.
Bull.
Well, funny thing is, my father's name definitely wasn't Ned.
There it
When I
is.
corrected him, he just played it off like his memory was bad.
Yeah.
I rolled my eyes and thus began when I started to completely ignore him. He didn't like that one bit. I could tell when he started sending me messages on Facebook about how rude I was and how I was a freaking cunt.
Oh.
Excuse my language.
Block him.
I don't know why I didn't block him right away. I guess I just forgot you could do that.
No, you playing. You playing.
A few days of this, I was starting to get fed up. Every other notification was from the creep. Soon I logged myself in and went to block him, but I read the messages first. God, I just had to read those messages, didn't I? He kept telling me where I live. He even listed my address a few times just so he could rub it in my face. He told me if he didn't get a reply from me, he'd come to find me. It only took me a few seconds to erase those messages and block that scumbag. Still, though, I couldn't help but feel a little bit creeped out that he knew where I lived. Was it that I told him who my father really was? Was he able to search and verify us online? I didn't have my address on my Facebook. That would be idiotic. One night, maybe 2 days after I had blocked him, something woke me up. It must have been midnight. Once I was fully awake, I heard the loudest knocking at the door. Our house is 2 stories, and my bedroom is on the second, but I could hear that knocking from my bedroom. Someone must have been trying to blow the damn door down off of its hinges. Then I heard a man's voice, shouting my name. Immediately, I covered myself in my blanket, like a freaking child. This Eugene bastard must have actually come to my house. I was scared out of my mind. I couldn't even force myself up to wake up my parents. I kept praying that one of them would wake up and hear it too.
Eugene Krabs.
And someone did. It was my father. I heard him shouting back, yelling to whoever was outside that he'd call the police. He even said he was grabbing his gun, which I knew for a fact we didn't have. After several exchanged curses, the knocking stopped and everything became quiet. After my father called the police, he came right up to talk to me. The strange man outside was saying my name after all. Hesitantly, I told him about what had happened, and my dad told me I should have never messaged him back in the first place, let alone not tell my parents what had happened. What if we had accidentally left the door unlocked that night? What if he had broken a window or forced his way in? Or what if he had waited for me during the day when there was no door between me and him? These were all thoughts that my father drilled into my head that night. Thoughts that honestly scared the hell out of me. What amazes me and horrifies me now was how easy and quickly it all happened. It could happen to anyone. And it could happen again.
Yeah, not to me. Not to me. Not a chance in hell.
It's always good to get out there and meet new people or get in touch with old friends.
It's not that
But
good.
all it takes is a few clicks to create an account with anyone's name, anyone's picture, anyone's information. Online, no one might be who they say they are. Anyone could be anyone. And they could be watching you from afar every day, slowly getting closer until there's nowhere left to run.
Bull.
Good night. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Now, time for the life or death question.
Okay.
What would you do with 100,000 YouTube subscribers? I'm so happy to say the day is coming soon for this channel to hit 100K.
Congratulations.
I couldn't have made it this far without you.
Congratulations.
So, I need some ideas. What would you do to celebrate such an enormous moment? Let me know in the comments. Thank you, Night Watchers.
You know what's funny? It's like when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I don't think I did like a whole lot. Like, I'm a pretty chill guy. You know, numbers aren't really, like, I don't really care about the number of subscribers that I have. I just care about, like, just entertaining people. So, and I'm a pretty chill person. So, if I hit 400, 500, a million subscribers, like, it's just, it is what it is. That means that must mean I'm doing my job. Entertaining you watching. So, I mean, with that being said, right, online it's like a whole different, excuse me, it's like a whole different world online. It's like, it's crazy. Like, we live in the same world, but it's two different worlds. Like, I've had a couple of like weird, you know, weird things happen to me online because I've added people, and because of that, I blocked people. You know, like in the very beginning of my YouTube career, I guess I was adding people like left and right. You know, that's why on Instagram it says that I follow like thousands of people. Those are people. The majority of those people are from like the beginning of like my YouTube career, and I was just adding people because it was like, "Hey, add me. Love your videos." I'm like, "Hey, that's what's up. I'm gonna add you." Click, and then not realizing now because I was naive back in the day. Like not real. I don't know these. I don't know those people. I don't know. I don't know some of them. Like, I know a couple of people. Like, if I was to really follow people on Instagram and on Twitter and any other social media platforms, like, I think it would be under a hundred followers, like 100 people that I'll be following. Cause I don't know thousands of people. I don't. I know under 100 people. So, yeah, those other thousands of people, I don't know them like that. Um, but online this can be a scary ass thing. That's why you gotta be very protective, very cautious, very you just gotta have you gotta be on high alert because people do it all the time. People catfish other people, and people act like you know they don't act like themselves, and they put on this fake profile, this fake persona. They put on this fake, just fake, like they're fake. Like people are fake, and you have to watch out for those fake people. Because if you don't, and you don't see those red flags, you're gonna get clucked. You best believe that. Especially if you do a meetup. Oh man, if you ever do a meetup, make sure it's like, during the day, sunny, mad people. Cause if something pop off, you gonna need some witnesses. For real. And why you 15, 14, 16 years old? Going anywhere late at night by yourself. Come on, don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. Please. I don't know how old Ash is. Cause Pokemon Ash. I don't know how old he is, but he got protection. He got mad protection. He got Pikachu. He got Bulbasaur. I haven't seen Pokemon in a very long time. He got Pikachu, Avatar. I said Avatar. Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. Right. I'm just naming the Pokemon that could just come. Charizard. Got Mewtwo. Probably not. I don't know. Hey, all I'm saying is just be very cautious when it comes online. And don't rush it. Especially if you don't know that person. And that's crazy because even if you do know that person and they know you, it's like, just be careful with dealing with people. That's all I'm trying to say. Especially online. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy. My family. Oh, Kiki. Do you love me? Are you right?